expressions. We started doing that yesterday. We made a list of mathematical operations on a piece of paper like this. As you can see, I don't have all of them listed. If you were gone yesterday and did not make this list, you might want to ask one of the teachers to give you a copy because you're going to need these words for today in order to do our assignment. So writing expressions, there's two kinds of ones we're going to write. The first thing I'd like for you to do is go ahead and write the title down. And the first thing we're going to talk about, and I'll put a little bullet point right here, is numerical expressions. Now remember, if I am going too fast for you, you have the capabilities to pause your screen so that you can write it and then unpause and join the class again. A numerical expression, look at the word here, numerical. Sounds like the word numbers. And that's exactly what a numerical expression is. A numerical expression is an expression written with numbers. Now, we've talked about in class that an expression does not have an equal sign. So, for example, here's some example of numerical expressions. We could say 6 minus 2. I could say 12 times 4. 15 minus 3. 9 plus 6. Okay. I could also do a division one, which could be 16 divided by 4. Okay, so numerical expressions are basically math problems without the equal sign. If I would ask you to write a numerical expression for something like this, so let's write this in our notes. We're going to write the phrase 8 fewer than 21. Here's my phrase. I'm going to ask you to write a numerical expression using this phrase. Well, if I look at the list on this piece of paper here that you should have, you will notice that fewer than means minus. But remember, we talked, this is the trick one, so we put a star by it. Fewer than. 8 is fewer than 21. So it's kind of written backwards. 8 fewer than 21. Here's my numerical expression for my phrase. All right, let's write another one. We're going to write the phrase, the product of 30 and 9. If I ask you to write a numerical expression, that means I want you to write something like this without an equal sign. Well, if you look back on your list of math terms, product means times. Now we could do a times like this or an X, 30 and 9. So we would say 30 and 9. All right, I'm going to have us write another one. The sum of 18 and 35. Let me move this up for you guys to see. And I'm going to have you go ahead and see if you can write one yourself. All right, well, hopefully you looked and you found the word sum means plus. 18 and 35. All right, and the last one. 6 times 50. How would you write this one as a numerical expression? Only numbers, no variables. All right, times, we know, means something like this again. And you hopefully did 6 times 50. All right, now we're going to move on to something called algebraic expressions. So let's write this in our notes. Kind of a funny word, algebraic. An algebraic expression is going to be a little bit different because it's going to include what we would call a variable, okay? So it needs to have a variable in it. So some examples of an algebraic expression would be something like m times 6. No equal sign, remember. 25 minus d. Those are algebraic expressions. If I would give you a phrase, and I want you to write the phrase here in your notes, 14 more than a number x. We find more than in our list of math terms. More than means plus. 14 is more, so I'm going to put it here at the end. More than what? It's more than x. This is my algebraic expression. It has a variable, and it has a number, and no equal sign. Okay, let's do another one. A number y minus 75. Write the phrase down and then write an algebraic expression. There's my hint word. Minus a number y minus 75. All right. Let's write this one in our notes. The quotient of 3 and a number, I have this one a little bit longer, z. The quotient of 3 and a number z. Quotient means divide. So I'm dividing, let's see, quotient of 3 and a number z. 3 and z. Now you could have put it like this. I would have also accepted it like this. Or I know some of you did this yesterday in my math class, like this. All three say 3 divided by z. These are all algebraic expressions. Why? Because they have variables. All right, I'm going to give you one last one, and then we're going to stop with this. Let's do, oh, we haven't done this word. Let's do this one. The total of a number t and 11. Once again, pause the screen if you need to in order to get this written down. The keyword is total. If you look on your list of words, total means to do what? You are correct. Total means to add. Of t and 11. And I sometimes put a little curve on my t just because I want to make sure you know it's a t and not a plus symbol. All right, so no, I do not want you to write this story in your notes. This is actually on page 211 of your math book. But sometimes we can actually write algebraic expressions with story problems. Some of you are already reading the story problem and you're already kind of trying to figure out which one of these choices is correct. So let's go ahead and read this together. It says the length of Interstate 90 from the west coast to the east coast is 135 and 5/10 miles more than, oh, that's kind of a key phrase, more than, that's one of our phrases, more than 2 times, oh, there's another one, the length of Interstate 15 from Southern California to Northern Montana. Let M be the length of Interstate 15. Which expression can you use to represent the length of Interstate 90? So a little wordy and kind of hard to understand. They gave us some extra numbers. The name of the interstate is Interstate 90. Okay, so this is not something I'm using in my phrase. This is the name of the road. They also gave me the name of the road here, Interstate 15. That's the name of the road. Now you've noticed I have here the words more than. I know that more than means plus. I know that that means plus, and I know obviously that times means to multiply. So these are the two things I'm looking for. Well, then right away I can already know that B can't be right because it's got a subtraction, and C can't be right. So I've already eliminated 2 of the possibilities. Now I'm going to go back and look to read this one more time. It says the length of Interstate 90 from the west coast to the east coast is 135 miles more. Well, we know that when we do more than, we do something like this, 153 and 5/10 miles more than. So far it's looking like A might be correct. Let's see. More than 2 times, oh, this one doesn't even have 2 times anything. This one does. 2 times the length of Interstate 15. Well, the length of Interstate 15, it says we're going to use the letter M. So 2 times M. And we know that 2 times M can also be written like this. So our choice would be A. So when you have story problems like this, eliminate the ones that you know are not correct. All right, so let me move this up here so we can see it a little bit better. How's that? Let's actually zoom in here. So watch out here with your eyes. Let's see what happens when I zoom in. Oh, it's not going to let us zoom in here, is it? Maybe if all right, we're just going to leave it right there. So this time, instead of doing a multiple choice, this time we're going to write our own expression. No, you do not have to write this story in your notes. All I want you to do is write the algebraic expression. It says here, your friend has 5 more than twice as many game tokens as you. Let T, so this is the variable we have to use, let T be the number of game tokens you have. See if you can write an expression for the number of game tokens your friend has. Now, if you want to pause your video to give you some time to do that, you can. Those of you that have already solved it, go ahead and leave your screen running. Your friend has 5 more than. So more than would be something like this. I know that more than means plus. I also know it says 5 more than. So now I know that I have 5 more than. Twice. Twice means I'm going to multiply by 2. So something over here is going to be multiplying by 2. Twice as many game tokens as you. Let T be the number of game tokens you have. Oh, twice as many as you, and you have T, so we'll do 2 times T. This is my algebraic expression, or you could have put it like this. Now, in one of my math classes, and I think it was in my classroom, we talked about this phrase right here. Those of you that are going on to the middle school, obviously touching means multiply, right? And my class talked about doing it this way or this way. They both mean multiply because they're both touching. However, to do it correctly, you always put the number first before the variable. So this way here would be incorrect. Okay, once you have all of these things written down into your notes, you can go ahead and turn your video off, and the teacher will tell you what your math assignment is.